So just watching on the horizon, Dave, about where that head's going off through the front turn. It looks like the whole sort of segment from your hips right through your arms and shoulders all just kind of rotates upwards in that first part of the movement. The compression's not bad. You can still probably afford to just roll out that last little bit, but it's really that upward lift starting from the lower back that's kind of rocking that whole segment there straight back. It certainly does get better when you think about it. The only other thing you could probably look at is also just those elbows through there's that late extension. So Chris, what we've been working on is that fluency of the opening up of the body through the mid-drive, and you can see you're quite good using the legs early. There's not too much body early, but maybe it's a little bit too exaggerated still. I thought today, and this piece looks like it's quite reasonable, you've got to make sure that body does accelerate. That means it gets faster and faster as it actually rocks back. And I think just looking at that back turn there, just with what we were talking about with Rob the other day, just being relaxed. You want to sit tall. Your posture's not too bad. We can still work on that core stability, but relax through your core at the same time. You want it to be tall and strong, but if you're over-presenting almost your abdominal wall there, it's going to fatigue very quickly. So you need to be able to relax as well through that back end. Okay, so Sharpie, looking at this early stretch, you can still see the hands sort of have a sticking point through the back. We want them to flow through there, right out to there. So that's one piece movement there, right out to there, flow naturally away. There's also that slight lift up through the through your body. You can see that on the horizon a little bit. The head gets taller off the catch, a feature of somebody who's lifting a little bit. And that's where we've been speaking about being confident to use the legs, getting enough strength and confidence through your core and your legs to be able to use them as the main drivers and not get back into that safety position with the body. So Jono, just making sure firstly that bunch up, shins right up to vertical, seat right up to your heels there. It's also a little bit rushed on the slide. You can see almost accelerating into the catch. We need to take the time. That's going to happen a lot more effectively if we get that early stretch, get the elbows straight there. Body rock forward now is quite good. We need to get those elbows straight. You're also significantly better with the leg push off the front, lifting a lot less there, which is good. We must just progress to make that change so that you can bunch right up and do the same thing. So take a good look at that seat position. You can see, if you imagine a vertical line from where your heels are to the shins, there's probably a good 15 degrees more that those shins can come up to vertical, which is probably a full roll or more of the wheels on the way forward. So the set there is not bad, elbows a little bit straighter, and then we just need to roll that last, eighth of the slide forward. And then you'd actually be going quite alright. Certainly a lot better off the front turn in terms of the hips moving with the handles rather than lifting back. Yeah, Nico, just that over-sequence movement. I think I'm really pleased. You can see clearly on that stripe there, that lift's gone out of the catch, but we're still just leaving the body a little bit too late. And it seems like the legs, then body, legs, then body. We just need to blend that sequence a little bit more, be confident so that the body's not quite so much of a heave. It comes in a fraction earlier, and it kind of progressively continues the acceleration, doesn't try and dramatically increase it. But, overall I think the paddling last week's been really good. And you can see on this, Nico, it's pretty clear at the slow-mo how the legs get all their work done, and the body's still done very little. So it just needs to come in a fraction earlier. I know it's the opposite message than what we're saying to a lot of the guys, but you've perhaps over-sequenced that movement just a little bit. But, in terms of your movement off the catch, really good. You're locking on a lot better through the front end than in previous seasons, so there's a lot to be happy about with those changes. Now this is a bit of the faster stuff, Eddie. I thought your stuff at 14 was really good. You were really starting to work the coordination through the front end. It's perhaps just slipping a little bit there now. And I think that rating 14 stuff's so good for you, and also those weighted roll-ups, to try and figure out that coordination and that placement and feeling the early push in the glutes. Just again, we just got to continue to work on being able to bunch up a little bit more. You can see there's still an eighth or more of the slide there that you're capable of rowing, and we've just got to work on all those management practices to get you into the situation where you can row that last bit. There's a couple of interesting strokes here where you still see that tendency to want to drop that right hand down at the catch just when you're under a little bit of pressure, and it's going to be a good couple of weeks of conscious effort before you can not start to not have to consciously think about that, I think. Okay, and Stu, just see really the major thing there is that lack of setup. We need to get the body over a little bit more early there before the knees break, and really got to extend those elbows. You can see through the elbows and wrists there's still extension to be done, and you do that late on the recovery. So extend early there. Everything should be set up by there. In reality, you're still quite vertical with the body rather than being rocked forward.